The great secret of the opposites is that they can coexist simultaneously. And in fact, they need to coexist, that there's a kind of awareness, there's a kind of permission and wisdom that sees that the tension of opposites is actually, the tension's in me, and the surrender to that tension is the kind of learning experience of holding opposites together, holding polarities. And that's the goal.
Another mystical and mythical telling of the fifth element is in the idea of the royal marriage, whether this is out of alchemy or any of the myths that talk about bringing together, the lost prince and the princess, or the king and the queen. But it's about bringing together those energies, the masculine and the feminine, within the head, within the thalamus, what is called, from the Greek, the bridal chamber. So it's about uniting those energies. And that's when then that fifth element occurs, when you have the pineal gland and the pituitary gland working in concert. And then lights go on, and a whole new world is entered.
Integrating the four bodies triggers a unique brain state that makes possible a synthesis or merging or union with higher, normally inaccessible states of our psyche. It is here that our advanced evolution and higher potential lie waiting. This transformative union was the subject of much veneration in the ancient wisdom traditions and is one of the most prevalent subjects of alchemical and magical symbolism.
One of the things that you may run across in studying the mysteries is stuff about the third eye. Let's talk about that for a minute. First of all, anything that you read in a book about the mysteries isn't really a mystery anymore. There are veils and veils and levels and levels. And there is a lot of blind alleys in the maze, so to speak. And part of this is deliberate. There's a lot of confusion about what the third eye is. Some say that it refers to astral clairvoyance, being able to see colors or auras around people. People use the term third eye to denote astral clairvoyance. Or they associate the third eye with the ajna center, which is the energy chakra or center right in front of the forehead. Or they associate it with the pineal gland. Actually, the third eye isn't any of those things. It may have relationships to those things, but it is not those things. In alchemy, there's a great tradition about the divine marriage. The divine marriage is actually a process, an alchemical process, that must be engineered through a very specific type of meditation program. And it involves the polarity within the head. It involves the interaction between the head center, or the crown chakra, and the ajna center, or the center in front of the physical forehead. In the polarity of the head center, or crown chakra, is masculine, positive. It's alchemically associated with gold, or the sun, or red. The feminine is the pituitary gland and the ajna center. This is the feminine polarity associated with silver or the moon. When you get into the real mysteries, there is certain work done in the ajna center, which is the center in front of the forehead. Its physical touchdown point is the pituitary gland. And just as the ajna center is the switchboard for all of the chakras below it, the pituitary gland is a master controller of many, many bodily systems. In fact, we see the masculine and feminine polarity in the head designated by the early cartographers of the brain, who were all flaming mystics of the Middle Ages. So you actually anatomically have the masculine and the feminine polarity in the head designated. Now, the way that this works out is that there's a certain period of time where work is done within the ajna center, building the ajna center. This again is the feminine polarity. Then there is work done within the head center or the crown chakra. But then the real mystical union comes with the interplay between these two centers. And the interplay between these two centers brings a third center into being, a center which is not designated in the books that you will see on the marketplace. It is referred to in the mystery traditions as the heart of hearts, or the heart center within the head. It is also referred to as the cave. This is Plato's cave or Merlin's cave. And it's in the very center of the head, but it's not a physical place. It's an energy center. It just happens to be located there. This center does not come about until you have sufficient work in the head center and sufficient work in the ajna center, where the magnetic auras of these centers begin to overlap one another in the center of the head. And this brings about a third center, which is the mystical eye in the pyramid. And this is the true third eye. Third eye is not the pineal gland. It is not astral clairvoyance, and it is not the ajna center. It is a function of the cave.
The emergent property is symbolized in an iconic form familiar to us all. It is a powerful symbol whose true significance most people never suspect.